see you. Tell us, how are you? How are the team? How's the week been here?
We like the weather, lovely. So had a great week. The draw at Villa gave us confidence and had really good training week. Players coming back, players having one more week of training after returning from an injury, and so it was very positive.
When you say players coming back, can you give us an update on the team news and whether Eze is able to return this week?
Yes, Eberechi will be in the squad tomorrow, and Eddie and Nketiah as well. So worked pretty hard in their rehab, and also our medical staff did an amazing job, and that's why they are available earlier than expected. And both had a good week, but it's the same like with other players. With Jack Decoré last week, they were out now for several weeks, but it's good when we enter the 3 games week that the players are back, and so we have now a better situation in the squad.
I mean, you talked post Villa about the various things that you were pleased with, and you said you took confidence from that draw. But how much of a boost is it to have both of those guys back this week?
Oh, yes, it gives us more possibilities. Tomorrow it will be the same 3 days later at Ipswich, and then we play City, so a very intense week. And when we speak about intensity, Newcastle, Ipswich, and we are the 3 teams playing with the highest intensity in the last weeks, and this is what I expect from those games. And there we need all the players on their top level. And I know Eberechi can't play all 3 games over the whole 90 minutes, and so it's good that he's back, and the same with Eddie. So we have to manage the minutes to get, but it's good just to have the opportunity when you need. And it looks like in every game it's very, very similar, that the games are decided in maybe the last 15-20 minutes and in the crunch time, and therefore it's good to have players available. And so overall the situation is a bit better, but again, they can't be on their top level. If you are out for several weeks, I don't know any player who comes back and is straight on the same level than he was before. But they need the training time, they need the game time to get back to their top level.
How do you manage that? Because I know you've already spoken a bit about December. I think 7 fixtures, is that right, you have in December? How are you going to go about managing minutes for both of those guys, and how much of a challenge is that for you?
No, it's pretty clear, and this is I told everyone is every player who starts must be able to perform on his top level. Otherwise, he doesn't start. So, and then it's the question how long he can do this. And we tell every player not to manage the game. We don't want to play with 80% and then he can play longer. We want everybody playing from the first second as long as it's possible on his with his highest intensity. And if it's possible for 45 minutes, we will sub him at halftime. If it's possible for 60 minutes, we will sub him after 60 minutes. And it's the same. It depends on the performance. If a player, if we think a player from the bench can help the team more than the player on the pitch in this situation, we will sub them.
And just one more for me, if that's okay. A bit about Newcastle. Coming off the back of defeat to West Ham, I just wonder, can you chat to us a bit about what you've seen of them and what you've made of them of late?
I watched the game. It was Monday Night Football, and I think, and we can see how games sometimes, what happens in games, because I think they were the clear better team, especially in the first half, and then they were 1-0 down by a set play. I think it was the first time, or it looked like it was the first time West Ham entered their box and they scored. And then they were still very dominant, very aggressive, playing forward. I think it was, I don't know exactly, but 13-2 or 3 shots at halftime. So they were the much better team. And then it was one transition, and they conceded the second goal, and all of a sudden, they lost a little bit their belief, and West Ham got confidence again. And then it looked like that West Ham controlled the game. But for me, especially the first half, they were the clear better team. And what I always talking about is that then some situations decide about the momentum, about how the games are going. But this is a team with a lot of aggressivity, with a lot playing very direct forward, bringing the balls into the box quite early, having many players in the box, and playing a clear structure. They switched then to a 4-4-2, but I think Eddie Howe mentioned it after the game, so it didn't work maybe what he was expecting. So we expect him in a 4-3-3, like they're always playing, always having 5 players, many times 6 players in attack. A lot of runs in behind, a lot of pace from the wing dribblers, Gordon, Barnes, Isaac, then the 8s with Joy Linton, Longstaff, Tonali. Their fullbacks with runs, Hall and Livramento, always threatening the defensive line. So we expect a high-intensity game, but on the other side, we also could see that with all the power they play forward, this gives you space, and this space, of course, we want to use to score goals.
Thank you very much.
Oliver, nice to see you. 1 defeat in 5 in all competitions now. I know it helps when the sun is shining, like you mentioned before, but is there a bit of a different feel around the place now compared to what there was maybe even a couple of weeks ago?
It's so nice. It's just 1 defeat in 5 games, but it's also just 1 win in 5 games. No, 2 with the Carabao, but it's it's always you can turn it however you want. So we know we are not happy with being 19th in the table. This is the truth. Having 8 points after. How many we have? I don't know exactly. Yeah, 8 points after 12 games. It's nothing that we can say. Oh no, it's fine. It's in a good position. No. I think yes, the performances got better and better, but the output is still not good enough. If we score 2 goals at Villa, we score 2 goals at Wolves, so. At least in one of those games we should have taken the win, but we conceded too many goals. We conceded 3 times in a row 2 goals, and so this is what we have to improve. But on the other side, yes, we can see that also with the players getting back, we have more opportunities, and how we want to play gets clearer and clearer for most of the guys, and they also many players are in a better physical shape than when they started. I mention it quite often, no preseason, late arrivals. So we have many signs giving us confidence, but on the other side we have to accept and respect especially the situation in the table, and that is not good.
I know, speaking after the Villa game, you said that you were proud of the team's performance, the way that they played. I believe it's 8 games between now and the end of the year, if you include the Carabao Cup. How important is it to build on those sorts of performances?
I think it started several games before, and in all the games, even when we didn't win, and this was also and this is what's important for us, to analyze the games without emotions, and this is sometimes a little bit difficult after the games. But in any single game, even when we lost them, we were competitive, and it could have been. When I talked about Newcastle, West Ham, we had situations to decide the game. I remember Wolves after 1-0, we had 2 big chances, we didn't score, and it would have been maybe the same like West Ham did at Newcastle, scoring the second goal and getting the confidence and getting the win. But we didn't, and on the other side, then we conceded the goals too easily. And this is, but we had many positive signals in those games, and we were working, we were showing the players, and yes, it's step by step, but it's not so that we say now everything is great. Also at Villa, we could have many more situations to threaten them. Give the ball away too easily in possession after winning the ball. Very often after 1-2 passes, the ball was gone, and where we had better solutions, better decision making. But I was proud because the circumstances, missing many players, missing many star players, and then coming with this team with quite small numbers of players going to Villa, and then playing with that confidence, playing forward, scoring 2 goals there, and this was what I was proud of.
Can I ask you about Justin Devenny? Because it feels like he's been a part of this team for quite some time now. He is taking his chance, and some. And this is a player that was only a couple of years ago playing in the Scottish Lowlands League, I believe, as well. So just how proud are you of what he is doing in this squad at the moment?
I'm quite happy with him, but it's him. He gets all the credit because he's hard working. He has the talent, and we encourage him to show it. We give him into the structure, and you know, he played in the second game on his second position, and a different position, yeah, because we were convinced that he can do this. And what I really am pleased with is that he plays with confidence there, not shy, so showing himself, showing why he deserves to start, and that's what I. But this is all the credit to him. We just encouraged him. Yes, we talked to him. We integrate him in our training. But he has many skills. But on the other side, he's at the beginning, and now it's keep working. He's really working hard every day, and as I mentioned, 3 games in 7 days. So he will get his his minutes as well.
Does that give you a nice problem to have when you've got players that have either come through the academy or come back from loan spells, whatever it is, that actually come in and do take their chances? And I guess are those the sorts of decisions maybe that keep you up at night a little bit?
Oh, I love this. So it's not a problem. It's the best we can have. Yeah, I would have a problem if I don't know whom to choose and whom to pick for the starting 11 because we don't trust him. So it's the best we can have. And of course, we are all pleased here at Palace and proud that now we had 3 debuts in the Premier League with players from our academy. But again, it's not my job to giving the academy players minutes and losing every game. So my job is to win games with the team for Crystal Palace, and this is what we should do more like we did in the last weeks.
But it does give those young players coming through the hope, the opportunity actually, that they know that they've got a manager that if they take their chances when they play in the Premier League, they've got a manager that they're playing for that will give them those opportunities.
No, I don't care about how old one is. I don't care about the contract situation. I don't care about how long he's here. It is what do I see on the training pitch, and if a player gives us the confidence that he can help the team, he plays. And this is what Justin did. Yeah? And it's like I mentioned it quite often. It's not a gift, you know. He deserved it, and then it's to show it that this is what he did. And so for me, it's just important who can help the team to win a game, and this is what he showed, that he's able to help the team, not just by scoring a goal, and also how hard he was working. And then we can't say we have an attacking player and it's enough if he scores a goal. So he has to work very hard in defending, and he was working very hard. And then he got a little bit tired, and then we took him off the pitch. And this is what's decisive for us is just one answer to the question: can he help the team winning the game?
I know you mentioned before that you watched the Newcastle game on Monday Night Football. Do you expect a much different performance from them? I know you also mentioned that they were the better side, but they showed, didn't they, against Nottingham Forest, particularly away from home, that they do enjoy the counter-attack. So I guess is that one of the main things for you, is to nullify that? Well,
yes, we know. So they have a lot of pace, yeah, as I mentioned, with Gordon, Isak, Barnes, it was Willock in this game, and also from the 8 there was Longstaff and Joe Linton, and yeah, they have 2 patterns. Sometimes they press you very high, looks like a man-to-man, and we also watched. There was one situation at Fulham where they lost 2-1, but they were 2-1 down, and Shea won the ball in the opposite box, so he followed his man up to the edge of the box in front of the Fulham goal, and he won the ball. He just missed the goal. And so sometimes they press very high, and sometimes they defend in a deep block, and always waiting for winning the ball and then using their pace. But this was a little similar situation that we had at Villa. Yes, sometimes they press you high, sometimes they play with a deep block, and then waiting with Rodgers, with Ollie Watkins, and with Bailey to threaten you. And to be honest, we struggled a little bit with these situations. This is also what we showed the players, to be aware, because Isak has great movements. After winning the ball, he's always waiting for the runs in behind, and sometimes he runs in front of you, sometimes he drops in your back and waiting for this. It's just a fantastic player, a clever player, and with a lot of pace. So our centre halves have to be very focused and always concentrated, but it's on the other side. It's just give them the ball too easily. To be prepared, being in the best shape behind the ball, then it shouldn't be a big problem. But this is what I mentioned. Sometimes we give the ball away too easily, and then we can get a problem.
And finally, I'll just ask you about Eddie Howe and the job that he has done as as Newcastle manager and overall his achievements, I guess, in the Premier League too?
Great manager, like also, I don't know any manager in the Premier League who didn't do a fantastic job somewhere else or in the club he's working, and I think he showed with Newcastle it's clear structure how they play, and this is for me is always the biggest credit I can give to a manager is when you see a clear structure how they want to play, and he demands a lot of runs in behind and playing very, very direct, very aggressive, and I love the way they are playing. I love what he's doing there. So, amazing manager.